You ready? Hello everyone, this is Take from bigheadtaco.com and welcome to BHD Studios. I am finally back from my trip to Hong Kong as well as Japan, and while I was away for 3 weeks. While I was away, like, stuff was coming into my studio and I was still talking to various manufacturers about me reviewing some gear. And so there's 4 packages I'm currently sitting on, and the one I was most excited about is this box right here. Look at this box. And when I get these big boxes, I get excited because either it means it's something huge or it means there's multiple things I'm reviewing. And usually things of this size is usually because I'm reviewing a bag. And so I do have bags in here. And so I have been talking with Peak Design for the past month or so. And I have a mutual friend, so thank you, David Amel. I met him at the Beers and Cameras event in Montreal.
I am David. I'm a reporter. I now live in New York as of a week ago, but I was living nowhere for 2 years before that. And I just go around meeting people that I like on the internet. So that's
very good, very good. And
yeah.
What camera do you have in your hand?
I have an X-T3.
And he is one of the hosts, presenters, and writer for Android Authority. So check out one of his videos down. I'll put the link down below. But we met in Montreal, and he's like, hey, if you want to review Peak, I can hook you up, and he hooked me up. And so thank you so much, David, and thank you, Peak Design, for willing to send me some of your products to review. Because as you guys know, I've been shooting for long enough that I've pretty much bought every camera bag under the sun over the past 25 years, and I've seen sort of the evolution of camera bags. And Peak Design, their everyday bags, they've created awesome bags. Although they're functionally great, I wasn't that excited about sort of the aesthetics of it. It looked a little bit too techie for me, and that's just for me, because some people love that techie look. For me, I wanted something a little bit more organic, a little bit more non-camera bag looking. And so these are the bags that I asked for. Let's just open her up and see what is happening. Spyderco Manix 2. And so I asked for 3 bags, well, 2 bags and then their pouch. And these are the ones that I wanted to look at, that I wanted to review. So let's, and obviously this is my first impressions, because there's no way I can tell how these bags work until I actually use it in real time, in real life. And so let's start with the biggest, and then we'll work our way down. The packaging is really nice. It's so nice. Here we go. And this is the first bag I wanted to test, that I was excited when I saw it, and it's their everyday tote bag. I think it's called tote bag. Everyday tote pack. And so from the outside, it looks really plain Jane, which actually I like. And on their website, I'll leave a link down below where Peak Design did their actual sort of a thorough through this bag. It was actually designed by one of their female designers. It was the first bag that was designed by one of the female designers, and that is awesome, because I find that women often, when it comes to bags, have a real good sense of aesthetics, because women love bags like men do, but I think women are a little bit more discerning, because, you know, my wife loves her handbags and she's very discerning, and I've kind of got into women's handbags in that my wife often asks me what I think, and then over time I started kind of having the aesthetics of what I like to see on her, as well as how functional they were versus fashionable. And so this is a female design bag, and it has a really nice kind of a business kind of look. So this is people often think of tote as kind of like over the shoulder. This is kind of like a handheld tote. So I think if you walk into an office, this is kind of like a tote brief. These straps do declip and go inside this little magnetic pouch in here. You can just put it in here, and you can just carry it like a tote. And it does have the sort of like the both side. Oh, they still got more bubble wrap. They have the sort of that classic Peak design where they have openings on both sides as well as the top, like their backpack. And they have their special, that little folder kind of origami, flippy, flappy, whatever they call it system, which I always thought was a really great design. And this can go both either vertical or horizontal. And again, until I actually use it, I won't know which way I think I will use it. Although just sort of off the top of my head, I think maybe horizontally these things would go well, and then I flip it up and I can put sort of things, we'll figure it out. But I think horizontal will work for me, but I won't know till I try it. But they do have the really cool kind of like that locking mechanism where you put this little strap and you flip it through, and then you can kind of tie it down. So although it's not break-in proof, it does make it a little bit harder for someone to open it up without you noticing that they're trying to unzip it on you. And also magnetic connection here, has a really nice handheld feel. Magnetic closure, but as well as zippered closure, weather sealed enclosure in the top. And then in here, you know, this is the main body that you saw here, but this is vertical, so you can see that there's 3 distinct compartments in here. And then they also have a dedicated laptop 15-inch in the back, as well as a little bit shallower front section here for your iPad. And then a really nice organizational front pouch here, which has the like little pouches in here that you can put like your AirPods and little smaller things, camera batteries. And they have their Peak design, I forgot what they call these things, they're straps. I'm not the biggest fan of this type of strap system, sorry Peak design, but I know it's very popular. And so they have this thing where you can just kind of attach your key fob to, and I would actually use this because I'm horrible with misplacing my keys. And then they have the strap system, which you can either go crisscross, and you know what, I'm gonna attach it now because like any kind of a strapping system, including I love the Molly type strap. It's very military looking. This is not a Molly strap system, but it has 4 attach points. One, like two, so you can attach stuff along the bottom, and also it has 2 up here. One sort of hidden in behind. 1, 2. So you can actually put these either cross or straight down. I haven't decided yet which way will be most effective, but you just kind of pull it till it clicks in like that, and then you can sort of what should I do, guys? What do you think? Should I crisscross? Maybe I'll crisscross. So I'll crisscross it like this, and then pull it till it makes that snap sound, and then pull it tighter like that, and leave it on all the time, because first of all, I think aesthetically it breaks that monotony of it all just being maybe this is kind of the new look. I find a lot of new backpacks have this kind of flush look that kind of is the kind of newer trend. It's kind of new to me, and it's gonna be something that I'm gonna have to grow into because that's kind of the newer style. I don't want to be stuck in some old school way of doing things. I'm gonna just cut this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut this. Hope I'm not cutting the wrong thing here. Cut that off, and then put this other strap across here. Don't worry, I'm gonna fast forward this. But anyways, you can see what I did there, right? So then if you need to put anything else extra, like a jacket or a blanket or whatever, you can attach on the front, but I think it just looks cool. And so this, and also one of the things I liked is, even though this might not look like it's a dedicated kind of a strap, because a lot of the backpacks have kind of horrible straps here. The Peak Design Everyday Backpack is famous for how ergonomic and comfortable it is, but it does have that, I don't know what they call it, but it's like a hinging system in here where there is an actual pivot. So it pivots, so it'll adjust to your, whatever your body shape or size is. So I think this looks pretty darn cool. It's a 20-liter pack. It seems smaller than 20 liter. I don't really care what they call it. I mean, how are they distinguishing how many liter size? I've had bags that say 21 liter, and I swear some of my 19 liter bags are bigger. But whatever liter size and I think a lot of it maybe has to do with the fact that this does expand on the top because it is a kind of it's not really a roll top. It's kind of a flap down. So again, magnetic closure, and then zippered closure. and then kind of flops down. And if you're looking at a bag like this, I know there's another brand, Bellroy. Bellroy also has their tote backpack, and this kind of reminds me of the Bellroy in a sense, but Bellroy is not a camera branded backpack or even a bag system, but you can put cameras in there. This is not a dedicated camera bag. I can see people who are not photographers that would still use this, that can utilize this compartment system that can be modified. But I think this looks awesome, and I can't wait to start using it in my sort of everyday ecosystem and get back to you and let you know, like, long term what I thought about this bag. So this is bag number 1, all right? Alright guys, I decided to sort of move all my stuff from my other previous bag that I took with me to Hong Kong, which is the Low Pro Tactic BP350 AW Mark II. And this was my main gear bag that I brought with me to Hong Kong. And then I basically transferred everything that was in here into here, minus the X-H1 that I'm actually filming this video on right now. So it was everything that was in here, transferred over here, and it transferred over pretty good, but this is pretty packed out. And also minus, I didn't have my laptop or my iPad in that bag. I had it in a separate bag. So this is completely packed out, and so I'm gonna reverse engineer everything that I did. I put everything in, now I'm gonna take everything out, and I did end up going horizontal with those little organizers. And so one thing I noticed is that as cool as this is, when this packed out, it's not that it comes off easily, but maybe I would have wished if it was just maybe a snap, kind of a buckle here, so it would just kind of always stay together. I don't mind that it's like this, but I'm just thinking if I ever accidentally, I don't know, let's just say that it kind of flipped over and I didn't zip it up, that things wouldn't just kind of spill out. I'd just feel more secure if this was more kind of a snap shut. But it's still kind of cool. And so from here, it's not a separate access, but in the main compartment, as I mentioned right here, this is everything you can see from up top. And here I pull out my iPad. There you go, 10.5 inch, the previous Pro. And then my MacBook Pro 13 inch 2015 without dongles, because it has all the connections and the ports. And so Apple's moved backwards as they moved forwards. And what I typically wouldn't do is in here, like I have my main camera, that's my X Pro 3 slipped in here. I probably would have just had it around my neck, and then the X-H1 would fit in here. But with the other Low Pro bag, everything did fit in here. So the way I did it was, in terms of side access, on this, looking at it from the back, I guess it's my left side, I have my M system. So I have 2 lens pouches that I have the 21 millimeter M mount lens, and in here I have my 28 millimeter Summicron lens here. All right, and that's kind of folded up like this, so you're using that half size. And then folded down the bottom, I have my M7 with the 40 Rokkor. Okay, and that's how I access the bottom. Now I can't access, because it's folded down, if the lens was in here, I can't access the bottom until I flip it up. But that's okay, because once I'm ready to shoot with this, what I would do is, so the lens is here, right? Lens is here. I need to pull this out to pull the body out. But once the body is out and I'm shooting with this M lens, this M body, then I can put this back, and then I have both M lenses ready on this left side, like that, okay? And on the right side here, I have the X Pro 3 that you saw from the top, so you can either grab from the top or the side here. And then on the middle section here, I have 2 Fujifilm X mount lenses. I have the 10 to 24, and I have the, on the middle section with the flap down. So again, you can't access the middle section until you drop this, right? And then you have, I have the Surui 50mm f 1.8, 1.33 times anamorphic lens in the middle section. And then along the bottom here, I have the Fujifilm GA645ZI medium format camera. And again, I can't access this unless I flap, I pull the flap up here. So basically, I intentionally put it in a spot where I'm not going to be grabbing it all the time, but when I do need to grab it, I need to kind of move some things out of the way to access it. And that's just kind of, again, I packed this out fully, and you do have to think about like how often, if I grab this camera all the time, then I probably would have put it in the top section here. All right, so I'm constantly grabbing it. See if it'll fit up here. Yeah, it fits. It's a bit tight, but I can grab it here. But the way I shoot is I shoot this only at night, and I only shoot it in certain circumstances. So it makes sense that I would actually shove it in the bottom. And I did cheat a little bit, because then you wonder, well, Taka, you had your 645ZI and the M7 next to each other on the bottom. Wouldn't they crash and hit each other? Yes, they would. Either what I would do is put a wrap on one of these so that when they bump, they're not going to scratch each other. Or what I did was I actually grabbed a divider actually from my chrome sling bag. It's a little black divider. You can't see it, but I'll pull it out. I just grabbed this divider and I put it in between so that the two cameras wouldn't hit. And so because you only get two of these foldable partitions, the bottom is just one large cavity. And so I just put this in the middle so that I can create an extra cavity on the bottom. So slightly modded, not a huge mod, and these things, if you don't have something like this, I'm sure you can find this on eBay or Amazon, or if you have a friend who has another bag. Because a lot of these bags, for instance, this Protactic bag from Lowepro, it has overkill. Like, I don't think I have them all here. I removed some, and I'm constantly adjusting, and that's the one thing about this that is both irritating and good, is that you can customize it to exactly the way you want it, but then if you change your kit, then you have to re-customize everything. So it might look really messy, but it's just only because I was constantly evolving it based on the day that I was shooting and what I was taking with me. And so this is a cool bag. It's a 16-liter bag, and that's what I was saying previously, where sometimes liter size, how they designate it. Like this is 16 liter, this is 20 liter, but they're pretty much the same size. And in terms of how much volume it could hold, I would say they hold probably the equal amount of gear and cameras, but they just hold, it's just you carry it differently, it stores differently. And this has this strap system on the outside, and this is the MOLLE strap system, and Lowepro does give you a full kit of accessories that you can attach things all on the outside and easily carry things like tripods and such. And they also have two side access pockets, but I don't like using it on this camera, and so I actually just zap strapped it shut because I don't want anyone accessing it. And this does come with the rain cover built in, which is nice for waterproofing, as well as just kind of hiding the camera, hiding what you have inside here. But this looks very utilitarian, kind of military almost, and very camera bag-ish, which, as I mentioned before, I'm not a huge fan of, but for this trip, I really needed to protect the gear as I carried it on flight, as well as when I was out and about shooting. So it was nice to have a bag like this. But for running around town, in Vancouver, having meetings, and as well as being able to shoot, this is a great bag to have. And then the last section I didn't show is the top level midsection, which is, you can see right here. What I have in here is just two Japan camera film cases, 135 in the limited edition Kodak yellow, and this green 120 holder, as well as my Ricoh GR1 film camera, but inside a Olympus camera case, because it just fits it perfectly. Because the original GR1 case, it's a very soft, malleable leather, and it doesn't really protect the camera that well. So this one's a little bit more kind of a hard shell, so I put my GR1 in here. So that was in the middle section, and then there wasn't much room on top to put anything else. And so maybe another suggestion I could have is that perhaps these straps could be a little bit taller, because it is supposed to be a tote. And totes traditionally have a little bit longer. I wouldn't mind this a little bit longer, and if it kind of folded back a bit. And this was more of a roll top. So maybe even if it was just 2 inches taller like that, and then you could have folded it down and then maybe clasp it down or not. And then finally in the front section, you know, I put batteries in here, and what else did I put in here? Oh, they give you a little Peak Design sticker. Thank you, Peak Design. But you know, I didn't fully pack it up, but I have my memory cards. I have a external optical viewfinder, bada bing, for my 21mm on my Leica M, as well as a ultra-wide lens adapter for my iPhone by BitPlay right here. And so enough room to put all of the little small accessories in here. And yeah, that was it. That was just my first test to put stuff in. And maybe you guys do want to see, like I didn't do it, maybe you guys do want to see having the strap system completely removed, right? So let's unclasp this. And this is not a pull style to tighten. You can see that there's multiple little lengths, and so you decide which one you attach to, and then the rest of it you just kind of shove back inside this little hole here. But when you're not using it, you just shove this back in, and now it's hidden, right? And then, as I mentioned before, this just kind of fits back inside this little mini pocket here, like that. And then you do the same for this side. You pull out the extra bit that you're not using here, like that. And then you can unhinge. And these hinges are pretty stable. They're nice metal, and I don't see it ever accidentally coming off. And yet, if you want to take it off, it's pretty darn easy. And so here we go, that comes off. This tucks back in. And now this tucks into the back here. So now you've gone full tote, right? This is the full tote like this, and you just carry it by hand this way. And would it have made sense to put another handle here? No, not really. I mean, could they have had it so you can carry it as a shoulder bag this way? No, that doesn't make sense either. And the bottom is actually slightly, feels like a little bit different material than the top. A little bit more durable, a little bit kind of more rubbery, so that it'll protect it when you put your bag down on the ground. So this is it. This is the Peak Everyday Tote Pack. And you saw how much I packed in it. Again, this is just my first impressions. Let me go out and try it. I did overpack this bag just to see if it'll hold all my gear, and it was able to hold it all without any problems. So that's it. I'm gonna go back to my original ending of this video. So let's close off now. So here we go. So bag number 2, and you can sort of tell by the size already what it might be. This is their Sling bag in midnight blue or whatever it's called, the Everyday Sling 6 liter. And people have been asking me about reviewing this because I reviewed the Chrome Nico sling bag. And this is the Chrome Nico, I think it's a 5 liter, and this is a 6 liter. But this does definitely seem a little bigger. And I'm going to, again, I'm going to just knife this off here. And if my knife technique is bad, I apologize. I'm tired and jet lagged, and so I'm perhaps not making the wisest decisions of how I'm cutting these things off. But so this is it here, and I did not do a thorough review, meaning I didn't pre-check the specs or how this thing works, but looks weather sealed, the top, the zippered. And very quick, easy top access here. Again, they have their sort of their really smart origami divider system where the bits and pieces can fold down. You can move it around. They have a really nice kind of a Velcro system that's better than like the average type Velcro. And this definitely does look like about the same size as the Nico case, but they do have a few little sections like just like the tote bag. They have a little small pocket, almost like a pencil case size, along the top that has these little mini pockets. You can put your AirPods, you can put your batteries in. They give you their strap system here, just like the Everyday Tote Bag or Tote Pack, that you can attach. You can see there's attachment points 1, 2, 3, 4 along the bottoms. You can attach something along here. Has a nice hand carry here, and it has side pouches on either side, so you can put your water bottle or maybe like a small lens or something in the sides here to keep it separate. And it is big enough. They say that you can put a like a 10-inch, probably even squeeze in an 11-inch iPad. I think they said 10.2-inch, which is the same size as my 10.5-inch iPad Pro that I'm actually using right now. I'm using the Hollyland Mars 400S to actually monitor this. Maybe I'll just show you guys here. I'm actually monitoring this video so I can see what's happening on my X-H1. So I'm gonna just close this and let's just see if I can fit it inside here. And bada bing, bada boom. Fits nicely. So a 10.5-inch iPad fits in here. 11-inch iPad will probably fit in here, but don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. And that's even with my iPad's case here. So let me just turn the monitor back on. Here we go. So here I am again with a very slight lag. And I'm really enjoying having this wireless monitor system by Hollyland, the Mars 400S. And so you have a little iPad spot in the back here. So I'm gonna do a head-to-head between this as well as the Chrome Everyday Sling, and I'll let you know what I think. But aesthetically, I think that this midnight blue looks awesome with a little bit of a brown trim on it. So it has this little front pocket as well. And so there's a lot of little pockets. Front pocket, little two-side inner pockets, a back section for your iPad, and then a little sort of a pencil casey kind of a front section here. And that has the strapping system you can attach on the outside. So it's a 6-liter bag, but a lot of it is taken up because they give you all these little compartments, which is great. You can pull these little sections out on the inside to create more volume on the inside if you want. But this does feel about the same as the Chrome Nico Sling. So that'll be a head-to-head that I'm gonna do because they're both kind of camera-centric. This one here could also be used as a waist bag as well as a sling, where the Nico case, the Nico Sling from Chrome is actually a dedicated sling bag, and it really does kind of, you can attach it on and off very quickly. This one here, I don't know if it's as quick or not. I'm gonna have to test it, but I mean, looks like some kind of a locking system that they have, and Peak designs their bags really nice. You can see even the stitching. There's like a little triangular stitching sort of to mold it to the right shape. And you can even tell by the side, each little cut and each little thing here obviously has a purpose, right? So this is kind of a, I don't know what this does, but it's kind of a, it kind of, your hands can go through it on either side. So it's probably some kind of a strapping system. Maybe you can attach it onto another bag or something like that. I feel silly for not knowing the answer. But again, like I said, I didn't really research this bag until, well, I just didn't research it. I just thought I would open this up and take a look. But here's the extra strap so that you can extend this more so you don't use it as a hip bag. You can use it as a sling. And then the other side that I showed you, man, this is really, this thing here is probably just a quick way of lengthening it or shrinking it, whichever way you want to go. But I'll figure this out later. But this is it. Kind of matches the jacket I'm wearing. Everyday Sling, 6-liter. Wait for my long-term review on this. And finally, number 3 is their field pouch. Now, I've heard a lot of people talking about this, even people that aren't into photography, they're just kind of in the tech world, and what's really in, should have been an easy way of opening this, but I just made it hard on myself. A lot of people feel that this pouch is great for just carrying around tech, you know, so cable management, external battery packs, that kind of stuff. So I've even seen people talking about using this just as a, what is this? Okay, do not eat. Oh, this is like a, whatever. Using this as sort of a toiletry bag, but I think it's a little bit too expensive for that. It has some kind of a attaching mechanism here, so probably maybe you can put this easily inside a camera bag. And it has kind of a felty inside as well, with a couple of little dividers and sections, and feels really well made. I'm not the biggest fan of Velcro. I wish it was just kind of either a magnetic closure or a either a magnetic or zippered closure, but I think the way they do it is because it's sort of like a roll top. The more you put in, the higher up you attach it, so it probably varies in terms of how much liter storage they claim that this can hold. But I look forward to this field pouch and be able to put various things in here, and then no matter what camera bag I'm using, including non-Peak design camera bags, sorry Peak, that I can just flip between bags and just sort of take this with me, because these little dop kit tech, what do they call this thing here? They call it a field pouch. These field pouches are great. Oh, I see. So you can attach a strap. There's a picture. There's these little Peak design little nubbies, these little red things that you can attach, and then you can attach a strap system, which I don't see it in here, so I guess it's not something that they give you, which is fine because I don't think I would use a strap on this, to be honest. And so here we go. So we got the field pouch, we have the Everyday Sling 6 liter, and we have the Totepack, and I have the little straps already strapped on the outside. So these are the 3 Peak Design products. First impressions, build quality is really nice. I really like the look of this tote actually. It's so non-camera baggy, which I really like. I don't like people knowing that I have a camera bag, and that's why I like a brand like Skin, which is a camera bag company out of Hong Kong, but the bags also don't look like camera bags. I also really like Filson, but they're really expensive. I enjoy using Chrome, although Chrome, like they have their camera bags, but I like their non-camera bags by putting my cameras in them and then using different inserts. Although the Nico Sling is a camera bag, but it doesn't look like one. It just looks like a really sturdy kind of a street cred type bag. And so this Peak Design, I think this is their first backpack that I looked at and said, wow, this looks really cool, I want to test it. And it's also a tote, which I like totes. It's cool to be able to kind of in fact, I don't like backpacks that have really weak top handles. That's one of the things I look for. When they have a weak top handle, I kind of don't want to use it, because often you do kind of pick up a backpack up and down, and this is what you use mainly. And when you're walking in and out of places, you're pulling this out of airplane upper storage or underneath your seat, it's nice to have a sturdy hand strap on top here. So that's kind of the reasons why I wanted to test this, as well as I like the narrowness of it, that it doesn't bulge out too much, it doesn't get too thick, and I like that this top front section is only in the top half. I don't like things kind of falling down to the bottom. So I'm looking forward to this, but as well as the other 2 products, head to head with the Nico Sling by Chrome with this Everyday Sling 6 liter from Peak Design. And this, I already know I'm gonna like it. It's awesome, and I'm gonna use this for every camera bag. So thank you so much for watching, and look forward to more unboxing. So I got other stuff that I gotta do. Again, just got back from Hong Kong. I am jet lagged. I'm in my studio, and I am ingesting photos, and I will be sharing more on YouTube's as well as on Instagram and Twitter. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and we'll talk to you soon. Happy shooting. Alrighty.